Hello, hello, hello. It's Kate Bolt, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. I'm back for another coffee and cards. I'm not live today though, I'm afraid. I'm not around, I'm not at my desk. So I've done a pre-recorded video for you this week and I hope you get some inspiration. This week I am back using the perfectly penciled designer series papers from Stampin' Up. These are super cute, they're really gorgeous papers, and if you caught last week's coffee and cards, I made a card then using them, and I'm back with them again this week because they're so beautiful. Now you can see I've been chopping mine up quite a lot. Let's take the bits out, we don't need those. Yeah, so you can see all the different designs. They're 12 by 12 with these penciled images in black and white, and they're so beautiful. So there you go, and then the backs have these gorgeous geometric designs on them, and there are 12 sheets in each, double-sided papers. You get 2 of each of all the designs. Aren't they beautiful? So the card I made last week was a very quick birthday card, and yeah, so you can see here that I have just used the paper as it comes. I've cut up the layer, I've made a black base, I've stamped happiest of birthdays in black, I've got a white card layer, and then I've just put the pretty paper on, and I've not done anything to it. I've added some gemstones and some of the gingham ribbon. Absolutely lovely as it is. And then I wondered what it would look like if we coloured it. I also decorated my envelope to match. Very simply done. If you'd like to see the video, check the list under my coffee and cards playlist on here on my channel. But yeah, so I thought I'd have another go, and we thought we'd have a little go at colouring these. Very quick and simple. Now I've got my box of watercolour pencils here. Open them. Oh, now there are 2 sets of watercolour pencils that Stampin' Up do, and I've got both of mine in this box. This is one of the old stamp cases, very useful to keep things in. I've got a pencil sharpener in there. Yeah, so I've got both sets all mixed together in there. So there they are, and they are so soft and beautiful to work with. They're great. So I thought we'd have a go using those. And I thought we'd go with a few different colours. I haven't quite decided yet, but I was thinking maybe some, oh, got a glue dot stuck. Maybe some lilacs or purple, some pinks. We've got melon mambo. I think that's also melon mambo. We've got flirty flamingo. We've got this colour here. And then we'll need something for the leaves, so I think I'll go with old olive, or what's this one? Yeah, that's a good bet, old olive. I've got granny apple green. That seems like a good go-to. Right, I'm going to move my box out of the way. Here we go. So all the products I'm using in my video from Stampin' Up, and you can find them in my online shop at katebolt.stampinup.net. And yeah, so I've just chosen 3 colours and a green. So we're going to go with it. Now, if you've not used the watercolour pencils before, I'm going to show you exactly how I use them. And they are so easy to use. Now, I just took out a couple of pens that were in here. Here they are. So we also stock these. These are called the blender pens, not to be confused with the alcohol blend stamping blends. These are blender pens, and they blend the watercolour pencils beautifully, and you can use them with your inks and all sorts. And they've got kind of, I don't know what's inside, a solution, like a glycerin type solution, and it blends the pencil. So instead of having a paintbrush in a pot with water in, you can just carry one of these around with you, and it does the same job. Very simple. So I'm going to just do a little bit of colouring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the colour down at the bottom of the petal image. I'm going to see what happens when I use it. Now, this is not watercolour paper, so there's not a lot of fluid in these, but you still have to be careful, because if you overwork it, it will pill the paper. So careful not to go too mad with it. So as you can see, it moves it around, and you can kind of move the pigment where you want it to be. So you can have it paler in some areas and more intense in others. And you'll see then the end of your blender pen becomes the colour you're using. Now I can just clean that off on my scratch paper like that till it's clean. Now it does stain it eventually, but it's still clean to go onto other colours, and it won't transfer the colour. So for instance, if I go in with my green here and just do the bottom, I can then move it around like that. So you will end up with these really beautiful flowers. So you could choose any colours from your pencils that you wanted. I'm sure there's lots of other ways that you can colour these papers as well. And I'm sure lots of people probably have if you look. So I'm just going to quickly do a few and create this card. Now, I saw somebody using it the other day at one of my classes, because I was using it at class, and they did a very clever thing. One of the papers has butterflies on it, and as well as the flowers, and they had not coloured the flowers at all, but they just coloured in the little butterflies. It just gave a little pop of colour, which was brilliant. Oh, I seem to put pink on the green, but no matter, we'll green it in. Yeah, so it just gave that little striking pop of colour where the butterflies were. There was just like 1 or 2 butterflies on this page, on this project that she'd made, and they just popped out, and it was really nice. So you can use these pencils in their own right, so they are great for colouring in without using the blender pen, or you can use the blender pen. To be honest, these are tiny little areas, and I'm not sure that you actually need it, but it does move the colour around so that you can play with the intensity of it. So let's do all the green bits on the bottom of the flowers. I'm sure this has a name, this part. I don't know what it is. I'm sure one of you will tell me. Tell me in the comment below if you know what this part of the flower is called. Not the stem, but the bit that joins on. So I'm going to go down the stems. Like that. And then get the leaves in. You can do different greens. So you could do this colour, and then you could go in with a darker green and blend it with the blender pen. So you have different shades. It's probably best to let one completely dry out before you go back in, and don't overwork it, as I said. But you could have more intense shades at one part than another. So let's work our way up so that we haven't missed any pieces. And I always do. So very quickly make this. It's so fun and quite I find it very relaxing colouring in, and it's something that you can do sat out in the garden, or you know, if you're watching a favourite television programme, you could just keep your hands busy. We do like to keep our hands busy, don't we? I don't know about you, but I do lots of different crafts, and I think it's just something I like to keep my hands busy. So let's come down here. This is a leaf, like this. I know I'll have missed some, but it will become more obvious as we fill it in. And they sharpen well, just like any other pencil. Super useful for any of your stamped images as well, because you can match up all your Stampin' Up! Colours with your pencils, which is very handy. So let's see, how are we getting on here? So I think we might be done. There will be bits I've missed because that happens. And then I'll come back and fill them in. Right, so that's the green. And then I'm going to alternate these different shades. Now I wonder if I make it more intense at the bottom Oh, I missed a green one here. And then I can just do that and work the colour up to the top, so that at the top of the petal it's not quite so intense. I think that works quite nicely. Like so. I quite like that idea. So rub it off. Go over all your green ones as well if you want. It kind of makes it a little bit more vibrant, which it probably will. Like that. Colour this in a bit. Right, I love that. Right, let's keep going. We didn't use this colour, did we? I wonder how it will look. Let's try this one here. Oh, I think this is beautiful. So I have no idea what I'm... Oh, I don't think I clean that properly. I have no idea what colour these flowers are meant to be, because I don't even know. But they look a little bit... Oh, I don't know. They're not sweet peas, are they? But maybe one of you will know what flowers they're meant to be. So I'm probably colouring them completely the wrong colour that they would be in the natural state. But, you know, artistic license. We can have our flowers any colour we fancy. So just do a few. And you get the general idea of how easy this is, because, you know, I'm no expert colourer here. Just do a few, varying all around the page. Card front. Right, I've got quite a lot of the lilac-y ones. I like that. Make it a little bit lighter at the top. Let's bring in that green before I miss it again. Like that. Right, okay, let's keep doing this one. Before you know it, the card will be complete. Makes a funny noise. So we're doing okay, aren't we? We're getting there quite well. So lighter at the top, more intense at the bottom. Which is kind of what it looks like in real life when you have a flower, isn't it? Right, let's go for a couple more of these colour, which is Flirty Flamingo. I think this one here. And this one here. And this is where you could just get to make sure that, you know, you can have two the same colour next to each other, but it just looks more natural if you dot them about. So that's what I'm trying to do. Like that. Let's have this one here. There we go. So just keep working them in. When it's kind of dry, it's not really a wet thing, but when it's really dry, you can go back and add more colour with your pencils and increase that intensity if you want, which is really a nice thing to do. So I think this paper with these pencils is a perfect combo. There we go, and then we're going to come back in with this nice bright Mambo colour, which I really love. Melon Mambo. I haven't used it in the ink version for ages. I forget what a beautiful pink it is. So a couple of these will be next to each other. It doesn't matter at all. Oops. How pretty. Such a simple way to create a fun card. So, you know, what occasion have you got coming up that you need a card for? You could create a few card fronts and keep them in your stash. Wouldn't they be beautiful to create a card that you just need when you want it, because it'll all be kind of ready and you don't need to worry. So I've kind of got the purples going up here, I've kind of got the pinks going up here, and I'm going to put some more, I think this one in here. I think I want another mambo one here. And then I'm going to go down the side of the card and add some colour in. There we are. We've done the side of that one, and I think this one has quite a lot of purple down the side, so we are going to go with some of the bright pink here, here, and the melon mambo, and this one is the flirty flamingo. So let's finish it. So it really doesn't take very long to create. I didn't go over all the green areas. I didn't really see it necessary, but you know, if you think you want to, definitely do that. Right, here we go. Melon mambo. Like that. Like that. Oh, there's this big one up here. Yeah. And then if you go over the green, you can make it a little bit more vibrant as you wish. I'm loving that. I think it looks so pretty. So we finished colouring in the front of our card. So that was the hardest part of it. So I thought to make it pop, I'd put it on a black card layer, and it really makes those colours jump out at you. So these are my measurements. I've got a thick basic white card base, and this is an A4 piece of card cut in half and scored in half. So I cut in half at 10.5. No, I score in half at 10.5 and I cut in half at 14.8. My layer is slightly smaller at 10 by 14.3, and my piece of paper with the colouring on is 9.5 by 13.8. So I've gone there in half a centimetre for each layer. So that's that. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue my black piece to my white piece. There we go, like so. And then I thought I might bring in some ribbon, but I haven't quite decided. So I did pick up the black and white gingham ribbon, which is one I used on my card last week actually. It's really pretty. I think it might be a bit too busy, so we're going to take that one away. And I brought in the, oh, I didn't in the end, let me grab it. This one, the crinkle seam binding ribbon. I've also got a bit of the thick frayed ribbon, which I think is big, too chunky for this project. So we're going to go with a crinkle seam binding in white. The great thing about this paper, I can't get this one apart paper, is that it, great thing about this ribbon is that you can colour it. So I'm not going to colour it today, but you can colour it using your Stampin' Write markers. You literally just colour it and it will colour beautifully. I'm trying to get the cellophane off. I'm absolutely rubbish at that. I think there's a knack to it that I've never found. We can't have it because we can't do it. Where's my take your pick tool? I think there's an end here. Oh, there's an end. That's what it is. Huzzah. There we are. Okay, so yeah, you can just rub it along with your pen on a piece of scrap paper because it will bleed through, and then you have a nice coloured piece of ribbon. I actually would like mine to stay as it is. So I am going to do my usual trick, because I really like doing it like this, of cutting a piece of ribbon to go round my card, and then I stick it on, and then I tie my bow, because that means I can move my bow around. It just is an easier way that I find to do it. But you can do yours however you like to do yours, obviously. Right, so make sure it's straight. I'm using a piece of tear and tape. I might bring it over a bit. It's stuck right to the edge, that one. Yeah. Piece of tear and tape just to anchor it, or a bit of washi tape. Anything you've got to hand, you can anchor it down. It won't be seen because this is the back. Okay. I'm now going to glue it together, I think. Feels to me too far over. It's got to be straight. Okay, let's glue it down with my nice liquid glue. There we go. So, there we go. Right, where's the ribbon gone? I'm going to tie a bow. I love this. It's floppy and it's really easy to tie bows with. Oh, saying that now, it'll go all wrong. But you know what I mean. It's nice and soft and floppy ribbon. So let's do this. And then I'm going to cut the ends. I've got big floppy ribbon on this one. And when you do tie your piece, stick your piece down and then you tie your ribbon onto it, you can move your knot. You can move it up and down. Actually, I'm not sure if that'll move very well because it's very well tied on. I'm going to make it smaller. It looks a bit big. So yeah, not the most economical use of ribbon if you're then going to make it smaller, but that's fine for my purposes. Okay, so we've got our ribbon, we've got our card front. It's looking really nice. The next thing we need is the sentiment. So I have picked out the Charming Sentiments die set, the same one as I used last week, I believe, using it for this wishing you the happiest birthday card. And this time I think I am going to do Just For You. Just For You. And I think I might do it in black. So let's grab a piece of card. Scrap it. Card. And I need my black ink. And I have tidied up a lot and then I keep putting things away, which isn't the handiest when you're looking for things. Oh dear, there's the Just For You. Here's the Just For You stamp. And I'm going to stamp it in black to match the black layer of cardstock. Just For You. Actually, I don't need it on the big piece here. I just stamp it on the corner because I'm going to cut it out with a nifty little die that matches this set. Which is very cool. This die set, this stamp set has a matching die set. And you can just cut them out. I mean, it's very cool. So it looks like they've been fussy cut, and actually all you've done is pop them in your die cutting machine. Just For You. Bring in my mini boss. Pop that through. Oh, through we go. And we have Just For You. And I really like it, so I'm going to pop it at the top and I'm going to pop a dimensional behind it. I think a big one will work. Pop it over the top of those flowers, it just pops it out a little bit more. And I'm bringing in the basic rhinestone jewels because they're kind of neutral, so they'll work with any of these colours. And I think I'm going to pop them on anywhere. One here, and it just finishes it off. Maybe one there. Oh no, that's in line. One there. I'm using my take your pick tool, which makes it a little bit easier to pick these things up. And I'm going to bring one down here by the ribbon, and I am going to fiddle with that ribbon now because I would like it to be a bit higher up. See how it moves. It's not very slidey, this one, but if I pull a whole lot up, you can see how it moves up the card or down the card. There we go. Just for you. I think it's too high now. And then you can leave it as it is because it does stay in place. If you want to, you could put a little glue dot behind there just to make sure it stays perfectly well. Right, so Just For You. Now, I don't think I'm going to put anything inside. Actually, I'm going to put Just For You inside in black. Because this is just a card I would send. Actually, what have we got? Actually, I think I'm going to put Because You Totally Deserve It. I don't think I've used this stamp. So there are so many in this set. That's Thank You, Because You Totally Deserve It. I think that will be better than Just For You, because it's just for you because you totally deserve it. But this would make a beautiful anything card for any reason, you know, birthdays or anniversaries or anything, or congratulations, because you totally deserve it. So I would send that to my friend, my lovely friend. Right, so there we go. I finished the card. Now, I did try this out before I made this card to see what it was like to colour with the watercolour pencils. And I used one of the other pieces of the Perfectly Pencil paper. So exactly the same pack of paper. And I've just coloured these in with the Night of Navy pencil. I've used a Night of Navy card base, the Night of Navy watercolour pencil, an Old Olive. And then I've added in another blue. So I've put in the Just For You, and I've stamped that in Starry Sky ink because I thought it just lifted it with this lighter colour of the Night of Navy. And then to go with it, I've used the Starry Sky metallic shimmery ribbon. I put Wishing You Everything Wonderful inside. So I hope you've liked my video today. Please give me a thumbs up and please subscribe if you're new to my channel. It helps me so very much. And do share the videos if you think there's anyone you know who may be interested in them. Yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Do leave me a comment. I would love to know which card you preferred. You prefer the blue one or the cut one with the different colours? Do let me know. I love to read your comments. It'd be interesting. And I hope I've inspired you to play with the Perfectly Pencil Designer Series papers from Stampin' Up. You can find them in my online shop at katebolt.stampinup.net or over on my website at inkstampshare.ink. Here is the one without the colouring. Similar design actually. Very similar design. No colouring. So there you go, just a little bit different. I will be back at my desk for lives from the first week of September. In the meantime, I really hope you enjoyed my pre-recorded video. Take care. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.